Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just had one thing I wanted to bring up. Because of the EDA's announcement at their last board meeting regarding the workforce housing project, I had a couple questions that I was hoping that we could get a written answer from them, and perhaps Mr. Waltz wouldn't mind being the facilitator of that. I can email you, Joe, after the meeting tonight, but I had some questions that I wanted to bring forward. For those that may not be aware, 6 months ago when we voted on the workforce housing project, I had asked specifically why there was a $445,000 number on the deed for the property that had been donated, and I was told that it was from an appraisal. The EDA has mentioned at their last meeting that there was actually no appraisal done. And so to me, personally, it's upsetting, but publicly, it's deeply troubling to me that, that this is now, things have changed, that we were told one thing here from this very podium, and that was actually not the case. So my questions would be, and I would like a detailed written report answering these questions so the council can make sure we have the correct information. And I would like it by, before our next meeting, so maybe by Friday, May 19th would be a good day to have that by. But, so my first question would be, why did the EDA tell council that the $445,000 number on the deed was from an appraisal when no appraisal was done? My second question would be, who came up with that number to put on the deed if no appraisal was done? Third question would be, why is the agreement between the EDA and the property owners confidential for this project? Fourth question would be, why wasn't council or the Planning Commission made aware of the March 1st, 2017 deadline that the EDA is now mentioning that was in this confidential agreement? I'd also like a timeline of all the permits, so application dates, any holds that were put on the permit applications, approval dates, that sort of thing. And it would also help if I could get from our planning department a timeline on our side of the permits that we were responsible for, and all the pertinent dates for that. The EDA also mentioned that they have already spent $500,000 on the workforce housing property, which now has reverted back to the property owners, so the EDA does not own anymore. So I would like a detailed list. It would be really helpful if we could include invoices, canceled checks, any pertinent documents of what the $500,000 has been spent on up to this point. I'd also like a public disclosure of any familial relationships between the property owners and anyone on the EDA staff or board. And since this unfortunate incident has come about, it's made me think about some other things that have been troubling to me. And so because I was told we had an appraisal for this property and we actually did not, I would also like to have the appraisals for the Afton Inn property and the Stokes Mart property. So, Mr. Waltz, I can email you that tonight so that you'll have that, but if you could facilitate that for the council, I would appreciate it.
I sure will, Councilwoman.
If I may interject here a little bit, Bebhinn, unfortunately, it is an EDA project. It doesn't involve the town or the county. We actually have no tax dollars, and I also have an announcement to make that yes, Jennifer McDonald is family, but it makes no difference. But that questions that you asked are legitimate questions, but it has no reference to the town or the county. So if you could send those to the EDA or board, it would definitely get there, but please do not send it to Mr. Walsh. I do have a copy that was given to me by Jeremy of the actual day one when they started the applications all the way to the very end. Jeremy, if you could share that with her, please, hard copy her or send her an email. Same thing you shared with me. And as far as the Afton Inn and Stokes, Joe, will you follow through on those two? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just to follow up, Mr. Mayor.
That's okay, go ahead.
The reason I had asked Joe to facilitate that for me is that I wanted all the information to be dispersed to everyone at the same time, and going through our town manager, I felt was the most professional way to have that done. So that's why I requested that.
Sure, and that's understandable, but unfortunately, it's an EDA project and no tax dollars, so it doesn't involve the town or the county. And I did go into a long discussion with Ms. McDonald on this. Property owners, I think I have a pretty detailed description of everything that you've asked, but it wouldn't be appropriate for me to give you those answers. I think it should come from the EDA and the EDA board. Okay?
Mr. Mayor, I do want to remind my fellow council members that the purpose of our meeting here tonight is to handle town business and anything that has to do with the public interest of the town of Front Royal and its citizens. It's not necessarily a forum to air every grievance that we may have against other boards or bodies that may exist in the community. And insofar as there is nothing pending on our agenda concerning that project, I am not interested in using our time in our meetings as some kind of grandstanding board for people to air these questions, which could just as easily have been sent in an email to the EDA and circulated to council if the answers were all brought back, or making that request of our town manager in private instead of waiting until the public meeting to make a request of the town manager.
Thank you, John. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, I feel like...
Excuse me, Ms. Egger, we're not going to get into it back and forth. Please, we're going to send the attention of Joe for the Afton Inn in the Stokes, and I've already made my disclosure that I'm a family member. I've also stated that it's not a town or a county project, that it was the EDA project and their board, and please send their email to them, please.
If I could make one more comment, Mr. Mayor, I would
I will
ask.
allow it. Go ahead.
The reason that I brought this up in public is because I was given false information in public, and I think it's important. It's well within any council member's right to bring up any requests or inquiries that they have during this time, and I think it's important that we respect that right of the council members and also respect the right of people to follow up on information that was given in public which may not be correct. So that's why I brought this up in public. It's not for grandstanding. It's not for any personal grievance. It's that we were given false information. I would like for the council to be given the correct information now, and it's well within my right to do that.
And I totally agree, and that's why I allowed you to keep moving forward with it.